Silicon Valley, technology, art, green, and sustainability.
Welcome to another episode of Silicon Valley Tech, Art, Green, and Sustainability. Today I have with me two artists who are amazing in your work, and Patrali Paul, Kevin Richardson. Thank you for joining me. Met you both in different places, and I noticed your work at the Woodies show and in Santa Cruz, which was a fun show. But before we get started talking about your artwork, tell us a little bit about yourself. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm Kevin Richardson, like you said, from Santa Cruz, California. I live in San Francisco now. I'm an oil painter. I like to paint like everything I see in the city, and then just nice cars that catch my eye. Did you go to school for that? Or are you in San Francisco State, or did you? I did. I went to the Academy of Art University, where I studied illustration and fine art painting, and I originally went to school to do storyboards for like movies and commercials and stuff. Cool. But then I started painting, and I was like, this is what I want to do. And then, so I pursued that, and here I am. So you recently out of school then? Year and a half. Year and a half. Yeah. Awesome. Last April, March, something like that. Patrali?
And I'm Patrali Paul, and I am a contemporary abstract artist. I came from India more than 3 decades back, and I worked in tech. You were a techie. I was in tech, but not really a techie. I worked in human resources. Okay. Working with the tech, and but I painted throughout my childhood and later, and I became a professional artist in 2015.
So just recently you switched careers.
Yes, I did.
And we hadn't actually seen each other in a while, so I didn't know that. I knew you were doing some remodeling on your house and stuff like that, so this is really interesting. So Kevin, we're going to start with you because I have the first 2 slides for you. Your artwork is amazing. You don't just do cards, you do other stuff. So I'm going to pull up the first slide. Let's bring the first slide up. So you've got a plethora of stuff here, and tell us about this.
Well, this was stuff I did when I was at university. The elephant there, that was, I took animal anatomy, and that was like the fun little final project, and like we kind of
So they had you take animal anatomy at the school?
I mean, that was optional, but like I love animals, so I decided. Well,
the detail's amazing. And then you had a bunch of still lifes, and some of them I couldn't put online, but if anybody wants a still life done, well, you know, this is something you do, and it's beautiful. And then the bottom one there, what is the bottom one there?
When we did countless hours of figure drawing, like clothed and nude, and that is in my 3rd clothed figure drawing class, I did that one.
So this was some of your earlier stuff in class, and you had so much, I mean, you had amazing, we could pull that down. All of your work just looked amazing. So I'm glad that you're pursuing this, because you definitely have a talent. Your still lifes and everything you did early on, some of the some buildings, they kind of look like maybe they were on the Riviera or something, just beautiful. We couldn't put it all on here, so you'll have to have a show so people can see your work.
Yeah, definitely.
And let's see, we're going to pull up one other one. Let's pull this one up. And so the process, just kind of take us through the process of this.
Well, this is like a 5-step process. This one is kind of working from light to dark. I just try and keep it as simple as possible. And so this, like, basically I start with a basic blue sky color.
So the top left one, is that the first one? Okay.
Yeah. And then the top right, that's where I kind of put in some clouds. In the bottom, I start putting in the ground plane, like the ocean, and some of that weird like mist that's coming up into the clouds. The perspiration, no, not perspiration, something like that. Precipitation. There you go. And then 4th, it's like cover the canvas, and the 5th one is put in some highlights. And you
have some people or something at the bottom, or what was at the bottom? Was that
There's just a couple little figures just walking around on the beach.
So we had to pull that down. So was that actually, did you do that on a beach or did you do that from, what was your process?
That moment only lasts about a couple seconds in reality, so I took a picture and then I took it to my studio.
Okay, so you took a picture. That was what it was, if you did a plein air thing or if you took a picture. Sometimes it's easier with the elements, right, to take a picture?
Definitely.
Was that San Francisco or?
Yeah, that's Sunset Beach.
Nice. So that's the Sunset Beach. And so your process when you're doing art, is it different for each thing?
I mean, it's pretty similar. Like I just try and keep it as simple as possible. Like if you start with the hard stuff and you just confuse yourself, it's not gonna end well. And I've learned that lesson a few times. Sometimes you just have to wipe off a whole painting because it's terrible. And
start over.
That
makes a good artist. You know, Van Gogh and Picasso, they had hundreds of things because they just start over. Patrali, tell us about your work and what your process is.
So I paint from what I see in nature in my travels. I come back with tons of pictures and I start maybe 3, 4, 5 canvases at the same time. I put the paint on it and let it dry. I have layers. I probably paint 10 layers on each of my artwork.
So you have to wait for it to dry then?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have to wait for it to dry, but then I keep layering it and until I get the exact combination. And I mean, mainly paint acrylic on canvas and sometimes multimedia. I'm trying to use some recycled material.
That's nice. Let's pull up the first slide of one of yours too. So tell us what this one is. Oh, it says Intangible Dreams. I think this is the only one I put the name of it on. So
yeah.
Intangible Dreams. What is this?
This is an abstract of what it says, Intangible Dreams. And it's layers of paint going over, but that's probably 20 layers of paint.
Wow.
To get the right effect of what I had a dream one night and it was very similar to this and I put that on the canvas.
We can pull that down. It looks like water lilies to me almost.
Yeah, you
I
can.
was thinking the same.
It kind of looks like I mean that's, so it says Intangible Dreams, but then also it looks like, you know, something relaxing pond with water lilies.
So abstract art is something you can interpret whatever way you want, and that's my personal interpretation. But yeah, it could be go many other ways.
So my next question for you both is, what really inspires you to create? And I'm going to start with you on this one and then flip back.
Nature inspires me. Colors inspire me. I love colors, and I sometimes splash a lot of colors on the canvas and then work into it to get to one or few different colors to make the whole painting. So nature and color.
So hence
really.
this is why you spend a lot of time in Tahoe?
Yes, I do.
So beautiful.
I walk around, I sometimes paint in Tahoe by the lake.
Nice. And Kevin, what inspires you? Oh, wait, I'm sorry, let me bring up another slide, one more slide really quick. There we go. Oh no, that's the wrong one. It's the same one that we have now. It's the same one, but that's okay. This is the close-up now of that one. This is beautiful. Let's pull up another slide. Let's see if we could have a Patrali one now. Pull up one more slide. There we go. So tell us about this really quick.
This is a Japanese influence, sakura, which is the cherry blossom. And that's a Japanese style building with the Year of the Monkey that I painted that last year.
So was that a painting or was it piece?
It's painting, but the petals are layered so that it's 3D, and it looks like in the actual painting you can actually plug the flowers.
Well, and the house almost looked like you could, maybe it was made with felt or something.
Yeah, and this is actually, the house is an abstract version of a gallery in Los Gatos.
Okay.
Where I showcased my painting a long time back.
Okay.
Another painting.
Another painting. We'll pull that down. So what inspires you to create, Kevin?
Similar to Patrali, where I see things like in the city. I ride my bike a lot, and I just take pictures of nice things. And then I really love colors as well. That's part of what got me into painting. And some of the artists that originally inspired me are like colorists and impressionists from the early 19th century, guys like Monet and Matisse. But these days, I don't know, I appreciate realist art, but then I still love abstract, so it's like a mixture of things.
So being out in nature, and then you're biking, you're getting exercise too, which is awesome.
Yeah, multitasking, it's good.
The city is always, it's always cooler, it seems, in the summer. You've got the June blues, right?
Super windy right now.
Is it? And then in like September, October, it just gets warm and beautiful somehow.
Yeah, like early spring is really good too, because there's no wind, it's perfect. And then this time of the year, it's a little chilly.
I should start biking.
We should all start biking.
Yeah.
So have you both had to be green and sustainable in what you do? I know a lot of artists, especially when they're starting out, in the career. For example, behind you, this was done by a couple artists who brought some materials together. The SVTAGS part I already had, and before it was just floating on wire. Here was our sign, and it was shiny, so it was almost like a disco ball when they'd float on the wire. And they did this for me. Do you have to? I mean, in your work, is there reusing? Is there green and sustainable?
I use stuff from Tahoe when I walk around. I pick up pine cones and twigs, and currently I'm making an abstract art of nature and put some glass flowers in it. So it's a combination of natural twigs and pine cones and some paint and glass, of course.
Have you ever done any of the shadow box things with?
I haven't done shadow boxes, but I would love to put something in a shadow box. Actually, you gave me an idea. I will do that as a future painting.
And so Kevin, what about you?
I wouldn't necessarily call myself green, but like I'd really try and not waste my materials. Like when I'm done with my palette, I freeze my paint. Like I put it in the freezer so my paint doesn't dry.
Okay.
And that saves.
So you could put it in the freezer?
Yeah, I learned that.
And then it just defrosts and you can use it?
Yeah, it's fine. Give it like 10 minutes. And it's
I never knew that. That's just learned something really valuable. I think everybody out there just learned that.
Save a lot of money.
Save a lot of money, and then you're not just throwing it down the sink or whatever, saving the environment. So that's really good.
Sometimes I make canvases. You just buy the wood part and you buy the fabric and you stretch it yourself, and
So
that's cheaper.
you buy the wood and nail it together and then stretch the fabric.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
And also when you want depth, sometimes you want a wider frame, you can stretch your own canvas.
Because it's probably pretty expensive to buy the bigger frames, too.
Oh, the bigger you get, they get dramatically more expensive. Like over 30 inches, it's a lot.
So we know that you formally trained. Did you formally train?
I did not. I studied interior design in India.
Well, that's kind of artsy.
So I did have history of art and architecture.
Okay.
And we had some painting within it, painting and sculpture.
Okay.
So yeah, I partially trained.
Okay.
And I did take some classes, art classes in 3rd and 4th grade.
I'm going to pull up 2 more slides now, and hopefully it'll be, let's see, there we go. Tell us about this. So I think the one at the top was the one that I really liked.
That was, my grandparents took that photo in, you said the French Riviera, somewhere like that?
French Riviera or Italian Riviera, yeah. maybe even in Greece.
Over there somewhere. They go on cruises. They enjoy that. And then the top right is a Woody, it's an old Ford.
That's sweet.
People really, who have the Woodies, they really like their cars painted.
Apparently my dad had a Woody, but he passed away in 1980, so that was a long time ago. Wish we still had the Woody, right? And then down below, is that the Capitola?
Capitola Car Show.
Okay. You can see a nice T-bird down there at the bottom. Love that. That's beautiful. Let's pull that down. And speaking of that, I don't know if we can get a close-up, Bob, of this, but was this your art?
Yes, I did the poster this year for the Woodies on the Wharf. It was a great opportunity.
Are you leaving this with me? This is awesome.
Yeah, sure. You can have that one.
I love it. So this is you did the artwork, and had you ever done the artwork for a show before?
I haven't done an event poster before, but I've done work for shows. But this was really cool. Like I applied to do it 2 years ago, and they chose someone else that year, and then they emailed me this year, and I was definitely still interested.
So did you make this specifically for that, or had you already painted this?
No, that was specifically for them.
For them.
I got a composition together, got the cars, and then the scene, got it approved, and
then they added all the the other stuff. So you gave them the final
Yeah.
artwork.
I gave them the final artwork, and it got scanned like a really high quality scanner, like
Yeah.
really high DPI. And then the guy Dave, he made the poster.
How long before the Woody show did you have to submit, and then because it probably takes them a long.
I think the event is in June, so I did the poster was done by April.
Okay.
So it took me a couple weeks in March to do it, and takes just as long to dry, like 2 weeks to dry. And then I gave
Wow.
it to him.
Cool. And then let's pull up another slide here, which I think should be, yes. I think this was one of my favorite ones that you did. Tell us about this.
So this is Love Story. I did it for a themed gallery art show in February. And
Where was the show?
this was in Crockett. It's City Under the Bridge.
Okay.
And,
Crockett.
Crockett.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you know this little town?
I've heard of it. I'd have to look it
Yeah.
up on the map.
The
though, so-
gallery, name of the gallery is Mama de Luna, where I'm showcasing for the rest of the year. And
Okay.
they have a theme every month, and that was for February, Love Story.
That's fun.
Yes.
That's
I
awesome.
had too much fun doing that.
There's, I was involved a few years ago. Someone wanted to make a music video for Valentine's Day, and actually, when I was just starting to do the show and hadn't done anything on location, had never done a music video, helped with that. It was really fun. It was a Valentine's
Cool.
Day production.
So I'm putting Love Story on my mugs. That's
Oh.
a recent thing I'm doing.
You can hold that up if you can get a close up of
Yeah.
that.
So I'm putting art on different objects, and this is the first one of
That's
the
awesome.
series, and that's the same painting.
That's really cool.
Good on a mug.
Yeah. Do you want to check it out? I know we should be drinking out of your mugs.
Yes, you can have that, Heather.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So, do either of you ever teach artwork?
I don't teach. I'm not a good teacher.
I bet you're great. Come
I-
on, give yourself credit. Have you ever taught anybody?
Not
during
in like an
classes?
official setting, but I've showed my friends how to do like little tricks and stuff, like proportional kind of tricks when drawing, and how to mix colors. But not like official pay me to teach you. But maybe someday, that'd be nice.
What about collaborating with other artists? Have you?
Not since school, like the music video. I've done a music video, and then a few animated projects. But,
Patrali?
I have not, but I am looking to collaborate for.
Okay, I have an
some-
idea, so
Yes.
we'll have to do something
Okay,
together.
because I would love to, because I'm trying to collaborate with this one artist. I haven't heard back from him
Okay.
to create furniture with my snowboard painting behind as the backrest.
I know. Did we get a close up of the snowboard? I don't know if this is very cool. So you're taking that up to Tahoe now?
Yes.
And is it actually going to be used by somebody?
It will be on showcase at a restaurant in South Lake Tahoe.
So it's not going to be used?
No.
Because I was thinking that probably needs to be sealed with a wax or something if it's.
No, it's not for use.
Okay.
Since it's
Interesting.
acrylic too, it would all come
It's-
off.
It might. It's sealed, but yeah, if you take it on the snow, it might come out.
So, have you either of you done commission work as for clients? So, this is actually like a commission
That
piece.
is a commission.
This is a commission piece. Have you done any commission pieces?
I do once in a while, but I don't do it in a way typical commissioned work is. I would take some colors from people I know and create my own. It's very hard for me to do exact commission piece in my abstract work.
So the next two questions kind of go hand in hand. What's been your biggest challenges and how you've overcome them, lessons learned to help with what you're doing, and or it could be personal challenges too if you want to share. And then what your best accolades have been. Why don't I start with you, Kevin?
I think the biggest challenge, at least for me, is like finding a solid client base, like to be like steady, like work with your art, like because you can just paint all the time if you want, but you're not going to have guaranteed clients. You're gonna like that's the hardest thing I think is really marketing your work, at least for me, because I love to paint. That's easy for me, but just like dealing with everything else.
Well, you're just getting started, and this is off to a good start. So I think you'll be getting a lot more work. What about the best accolade for you?
I mean, this poster for sure. That's like the biggest thing I've done, and like at the event, I signed like hundreds of posters. I've never done that before. Like I felt
You were probably taking a break from that when when I got to your booth, there was someone else there, and then you came later. So
I might have been grabbing a snack or something.
you have to do that. You got to feed yourself. And then Patrali?
So my biggest challenge is getting my art into the Silicon Valley companies. I come from tech. I would love to hang my painting in every company in the Valley. So I'm working at that, and hopefully we can come together.
Maybe both of you will have something at Google one of these days, right?
I'd love to. Google,
Right?
Facebook, Tesla.
Yeah, Tesla. There's a lot of startups and a lot of places to place the work. So is there something, I'm going to pull up the next, I think we're behind on slides now, so let's pull up another slide. I love this piece, Kevin.
It's down the street from my apartment. That was like one of those photo Kodak moments. And,
So was this car actually there, or did you insert it into?
it was there, but
Okay.
like a week later, the green graffiti part, that's actually a fence
Okay.
with like a plastic thing behind.
Uh-huh.
And half of that graffiti was gone like a couple days later.
So they painted over it, or the fence was
they
just gone?
tore out like the plastic part.
Okay, interesting. We could pull that down, and let's pull up one more slide now. Oh, this is our community slide, and so we're at that point too. We can pull that down. So is there something that you need from the community? Do you need bloggers to blog about you? Would you like to show your work at a gallery and maybe get, or a cafe, get free coffee and food? I don't know if you guys know who John Pugh is, but if you go to Las Gatas, the Great Bear there has a picture, and there's a woman, it looks like she's leaning, and his thing is Trump lore art, which is the art of illusion, so it looks like a real woman. And when he first started out, he did it for food, and so he has a lifetime agreement to get coffee and food. Good thing they're still in business, right?
Oh, wow.
So is there something the community can help you with? It could be anything as simple as
I
a
would
Starbucks
love
card.
for the companies of Silicon Valley to contact me and let me hang my art in their lobbies.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd go with that too, but free food's nice. Free drinks.
As long as the business stays in business, right? It's amazing that they're still in business,
Yeah.
because I think when he did that work, it was probably 35, 40 years
They probably
ago.
weren't expecting 30 years of lattes.
Right. Well, and he doesn't live here anymore too, so he moved to Tahoe. So
Oh, okay.
he used to live in the Santa Cruz Mountains, so it's probably not that often anymore. But yeah, so that being said, do you do anything back with the community with your artwork? So if you had a show, do you do something?
Yeah, I
percentage back?
donate one of my pieces for a cause every year. Last year I donated to the Silicon Valley Humane Society. This year I'm donating to an Indian organization called URAN, which is Flight, and they're helping the children of brothel workers get out of that environment.
So I met you not at an event, but I met you at an event. Are there events that you're hosting besides the gallery? Is there other events? And I guess that leads me to the next question, which is we do a meetup. And if either of you are interested in doing a meetup, maybe even showing people how to do their own frames, we could do an educational.
Would love to.
Okay.
That would be very nice. And I do events in Saratoga downtown, the wine stroll, the day after Thanksgiving.
Claudia's, do you do? Is it?
No, it's I go to at Michael Anthony Salon.
Okay.
I showcase my paintings there.
Okay.
Because I get my hair done there.
Okay.
And, Michael very generously offered me his space to
Nice.
showcase my paintings there
Okay.
whenever they had.
That's always
and
good. Hair salons are good to give them some work to hang and try to sell. Yeah.
Yeah, and Cooper Garrett Winery.
Nice.
I've done a show there. I am looking to do another show in fall and then spring.
Okay. Let's pull up another slide too. There we go. So this is two abstracts.
Yes, so the left one is a music book. So
Okay.
it's like the notes of the music. It
Okay.
was for a music theme at a gallery. And the right is totally abstract for penthouses in San Francisco. It's called Scribbles. Hopefully 181 Fremont, it's a new building coming up in San Francisco. Hopefully you asked me what the community can do. Maybe they can hang my art in their new building.
Sweet. Let's pull that down and pull up the next one. There should be one for you next. Yep, this is another, I love this.
Yeah, that's actually that's in a gallery in San Francisco, in Christian Daniels Gallery.
Okay. It's great. Is it a big one or is it a smaller?
I think it's
Let's
the same
pull that
size as
down
this.
and we can, if you want to get a close-up of this one, so it's the same size as this one?
Except it's framed.
It's framed, okay. So I love this too. Your work's just fabulous. Do you guys work on, have you done the First Fridays? I know Santa Cruz has one where it's the first Friday of the month. They have like an open studio for artists, and I'm not sure if Palo Alto has one, but downtown San Jose has one. I'm getting the 3-minute warning. So neither of you have done that yet then?
I've done open studios in San Francisco.
In San Francisco?
Not in Santa Cruz.
Okay. When do they do that?
I think I'm not doing it this year, but I think it's in July, end of July, or that would be in the summer sometime.
Okay.
Around this time, actually.
I think there's one more. Let's pull up the last. There we go. I think this is the last one.
This is painted in Tahoe. I was at the Edgewood having dinner, and this is the sunset at Edgewood.
Wow, that's really cool. There's just a couple minutes left. Any last quick thoughts for either of you? I don't think we got to all the questions, but almost.
No, thanks for having me on. This is
Yeah, thank you very
really
much
cool.
for inviting me.
Yeah. Any other thoughts for anybody out there?
Why? We just
Or
know, I
anything
think,
that you want them to remember about you?
my abstract art needs to be out there in Silicon Valley. I've lived there more than 3 decades,
And
I
buy
wanted
coffee
to-
mugs.
And please buy, yeah.
We can't talk about price, but they can
Yes.
contact you.
Yes, and I can go through my Facebook page and message me. I
Okay.
reply every message as soon as possible.
And,
I would say there's a lot of people intimidated out there to start doing art, and just try, just dabble, and just get some paint, throw it on canvas, draw. I mean, what are you gonna do? Waste like $5 of paint? Just try. It's good for you.
cool. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to maybe us having an educational talk then. We could talk about your process or what have you. We'll set that up later, and then people can contact you through the website, Facebook page. And to the audience, thank you for joining us. We have a Facebook page, we have Twitter, we do have Instagram, but I'm really bad at that. I need to start doing more Instagram. There's all the digital stuff, right? And then our meetup group, we will be planning some stuff for the fall. We've only done a couple this year, Earth Day and with the city of Cupertino and another one, but we'll be starting to do some more regular. So thank you again for joining me, and we'll, for the audience, make this a great week by rethinking, re-choosing the way that you choose to live here in Silicon Valley and beyond. Make this a great TAGS week. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather.